Hello everybody, this is Shady here, and today I'm going to have to do a bit of a rant video. So, it looks like, obviously, Square Enix have been making a lot of really cool announcements recently. We've had the release date for Dragon Quest 2D HD, we just had Final Fantasy Tactics, the Zodiac Collection, or whatever it's called, just announced, and now it's just come to our attention that it looks like basically every one of Square Enix Switch 2 releases is going to be a game card key or game key card or whatever the hell it's called. So it's essentially just going to be a download key for every one of their releases, which is very weird because this is odd because, for example, this is for both Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy Tactics. Both Switch versions are the game on the cart, but the Switch 2 version is the game card, or the game key. Makes no bloody sense. This is a real issue. Clearly, Nintendo have really fucked up with this shit. I don't mean to swear, but like obviously, I'm assuming that there's just it looks like, the Switch version, or I should say the Switch 2 carts, it looks like you can either get a 64GB one, or looks like just a 4GB or whatever game card one there is. I'm assuming there's nothing in between. Like, maybe they're just that expensive that it's just cheaper to get those, but I still feel like that's not really a good excuse as well, though, because CD Projekt Red happily put on Cyberpunk on 64GB, the biggest one. They could have easily done the game card thing or the game key thing, but they didn't. It's unacceptable. But it looks like this is going to be every one of Square Enix releases, or just in general, it's going to be a trend with the Switch 2 by the looks of it. Obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be the same thing. Elden Ring is probably going to be the same as well. These are games that are probably, close to 100GB on PS5. I'd imagine the Switch 2 versions will be a little bit smaller, but still, it's not good. Obviously, maybe I need to explain why this is annoying. Obviously, first of all, this isn't just, solely a Switch 2 thing. It's kind of become a thing now, slowly. A lot of the big AAA studios have been doing this as well. Ubisoft, EA, Activision, where basically the disc is literally just a download code or download key. So essentially what that means is you pop it in and it just, it will obviously just download the game. I imagine it's just like, it sends a message and just it will download it from the internet as if it's like an update file or something like that, or like gets it from the store. I don't know quite how it works, but essentially, it just tells the console download this game, and then that's how it works. That is just really annoying because this is the future of physical media now, isn't it? Really. Thankfully, on the PS5 at least, and on Xbox, you do get releases that don't do this. It's really upsetting because I have to praise Square Enix for the fact that with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they decided to print it on 2 discs. So you get the full game and the full experience. And I'm sure for part 3, they're going to do the same, probably on like 3 discs on PS5. But clearly there's an issue here for Nintendo. And it's really frustrating because the first Switch was like the kind of physical media king. And it was kind of, that's why a lot of people, collectors and everyone, got really big with this system, or people loved it in general because you had the full games on there. And obviously there was just like digital only releases occasionally, but now it's so muddled. It's really frustrating. You think, some of these studios could just do the smart delivery thing that Microsoft does, where you just have the Switch 1 version and just put a message saying, Switch 2 version, or update for Switch 2 version, or something like that. So you still get a version on the cart, or you could simply just put it in the Switch 2 cart or the Switch 2 case, but it can just be the Switch 1 version. If it has two versions, that is, obviously. Like with, because from what I've heard, you know, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Switch 1 version will just update to the Switch 2 version or something like that. Yeah, because obviously I imagine it will just, well, I'm assuming it'll work the same as the game cart thing, but you would still have a version on cart, which is a solution. Still not good though. Yeah, and with the cross-gen releases, there's no excuse. I just don't get it at all. It's really stupid. Yeah, I mean, but I think this is going to be the case, like for the PS6. I think if there is physical media, which there probably will be, at least for backwards compatibility, yeah, I think the physical discs are just going to be the download keys, and there will be some games that aren't. And yeah, I think we're just reaching the all digital future. And I just think it's funny how they're kind of using physical media as a, you know, using it almost as a lie to make us believe we still have it when it isn't there. I mean, at least with these game carts, you can still trade them in and you can get them secondhand and stuff. But the real issue is when these stores go down, you know, when the Switch 3 or 4 are available, you know, or whatever. Because, like, there's no guarantee that Nintendo are going to do another portable after this. Like, they're more than likely going to do a proper home console, you know, especially with Microsoft basically not making another system again, I would imagine. So, you know, there's probably room there for them to do another home console at some point. So, yeah, I mean, if they do that, the Switch probably won't even be backwards compatible, and that entire library is going to be gone. Yeah, like, we've had real issues within gaming as a medium with, you know, having things available and preservation in general. You know, it's basically been down to the community creating emulators and like dumping ROMs. Like, that's how like game preservation is a thing. We've seen so many games be lost over the years. Yeah, it's just really frustrating. So yeah, like, for example, you know, I really wanted to pick up bloody Tactics for the Switch 2, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna either pick up the Switch 1 or the PS5 version. Yeah, because like, it's same with the Dragon Quest 1 as well. Like, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, it's an extra tenner for Switch 2, but you're not getting the game on the cart. Like, what sense does that make either? Obviously another frustrating thing about this is, you know, the Switch 2 only has 256 gigabytes of memory as well, which is pathetic, really, for a console in 2025. So yeah, you're going to have to buy that extra memory card. It's the micro SD Express as well, so you can't even use the bloody standard one. And it's like 50 quid for 256 gigabytes, right? Yeah, there's no bigger options just yet, so that's also annoying. So, you know what I mean? Like I was saying, like, I'm sure Remake is going to be like, you know, probably, you know, close to 100 gigabytes or something. Same with Elden Ring. Like, Elden Ring plus the DLC is, that's what this Tarnished Edition is the complete version. So yeah, that will be probably around 70 gigabytes or so. So yeah, that it's gonna go up quickly, isn't it? Yeah, very annoying. Yeah, if they had like at least double the space for the internal memory, it wouldn't be quite as bad. But still, you know. But yeah, this is the future of gaming. Yeah. But yeah, it's really frustrating because, like I said, Square Enix have been really good on PS5 in particular with making sure that their games are fully available. So yeah, it's just annoying that on Switch 2 it's not going to be the case. Because, you know, I'm a huge fan of Square Enix and I would prefer to have the game on the Switch 2 personally, just because the convenience of having it on the handheld and, you know, RPGs on the go or embedded are really cool. But yeah, looks like I'll be picking up PS5 version of a lot of these games now. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the matter. Yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.